Next on the tee box, from Drayton Valley, Alberta, two-time defending Remax North American long drive champion, Jason Zuback.
Jason Zuback has dominated the sport of long driving since exploding onto the scene 3 years ago.
He's got a chance here. Here we go.
Stay in.
There it is.
There's your winner.
Jason Zuback.
His talent is unquestionable. His power unreal.
Look at him. T-pump. Holy cow. Needs a roll. He's got it. Look at it.
150.
But this year, it's for the world. Can Jason Zuback break through to capture his third consecutive title? We'll find out here at the 1998 Remax World Long Drive Championship. Welcome to beautiful Mesquite, Nevada, Nevada's diamond in the desert. We're at the Palms Golf Club just 80 miles north of Las Vegas for what should be an exciting and awe-inspiring night of long drive competition. Hello everybody, I'm Paul Ryden. What you're about to see is an awesome display of power, timing, and brute strength as 8 finalists try to outdrive one another for the title of World Long Drive Champion. And winning here really does make the winner a world champion. Drivers from 7 countries on 4 continents work their way here through some 300 qualifiers for a chance to be among the 64 drivers here at Mesquite, Nevada, who will hit golf balls under the lights and deep into the desert evening. Grand prize for the longest of the long drivers, $75,000. With me to analyze the action is the director of golf at Rancho San Marcos Golf Club in Santa Barbara, California, Mike Abbott. And Mike, I guess not only has the magnitude of this event grown over the years, but the sport of long drive itself has grown as well, hasn't it?
Oh, the changes are really enormous. I mean, now these golfers, these guys who come out and they hit under the lights, train all year. They train with their bodies, they train to get strength, they train to get flexibility, and it's really become their career and their profession now to actually see if you can be the guy who can hit it the longest, if you can be the world champion.
Anything special to look for in our finalists tonight?
Well, it's certainly a different grid. It's a flat grid, so someone's really going to have to carry the golf ball a pretty good distance because there's not much roll out there. But the guy they're all chasing certainly is Jason Zuback to see whether he can repeat for the 3rd time.
And of course, our colleague Tim Matthews will be along to conduct interviews throughout the competition. As we mentioned, Jason Zuback is the guy to beat. 3 times he's looking to become the champion of the World Long Drive Championship. Can he do it tonight, or is there another longer driver lurking around the next tee box? Stick around and find out on the Remax World Long Drive Championship. As Mike mentioned, the grid is soft and slow. It's a calm 59 degrees, so the elements won't be a factor. Basically, ideal conditions for crowning the world's longest driver. Now, let's go back to the tee to meet tonight's 8 finalists.
From Phoenix, Arizona, Brian Pavlik.
1993 champion. He's got a new swing, new equipment, and a new attitude.
From Peoria, South Africa, Adrian Van Rensburg.
Making this a true world event, Adrian made it through 1,000 competitors in South
Sarasota,
Africa.
Florida, George Slutsky.
George the Animal Slutsky got himself in great shape for this event.
California, Jerry James.
Former professional wrestler and bodybuilder. This is one he really wants.
From Little Rock, Arkansas, Sean Pfister.
The 1995 champion Sean the Beast Pfister is always a crowd favorite.
From South Lyon, Michigan, John Lindemann.
John Lindemann, the golf pro at heart, always seems to be in the finals.
From Drayton Valley, Alberta, 2-time defending champion Jason Zuback.
This is a fellow who has all the pressure on him. Can he do it 3 times in this grassroots championship?
Greg Brooks.
Hitting last is tough, but Greg Brooks has a great golf swing. So we have our 8 finalists. These fellows are the ones that made it through this tough double elimination format. And I'm going to tell you what, this final is going to be unbelievable, and I can't wait for it to get underway.
Neither can they. Their battle begins when we return to the 1998 Remax World Long Drive Championship. 1998 Remax World Long Drive Championship is being brought to you by Remax. Nobody in the world sells more real estate than Remax. Remax, the real estate leaders. By Club Glove, used by more touring professionals worldwide than any other golf travel bag. By Soft Spikes brand cleats, worn by more than 60% of the competitors at the 1998 Remax World Long Drive Championship. And by Great Southern Life. Whether it's on or off the course, you'll get the most distance from your life insurance with Great Southern Life. We're in this for life. Well, some 1,500 fans have packed the stands here in Mesquite, Nevada. Many of them have been here all day. They know the rules by now, so let's get everybody else up to speed. Mike, fill us in.
All players in the competition will hit 6 consecutive drives. All players will use the Pinnacle Titanium Extreme Golf Ball, the official ball of the competition. All clubs must conform to USGA specs. For a drive to be legal, it must be a minimum of 270 yards and in the grid. The ball cannot land out of bounds and come back in play. And any finalist reaching the Pinnacle Titanium Extreme Zone of 360 yards plus will win a bonus of $1,000.
All right, you know the rules. Now let's get to the action. Our first competitor in the finals, Brian Pavlik, whose first ball was out of bounds, so he's getting set for drive number 2.
Brian, who's changed equipment this year, has moved over to the Right Golf Company. He really took the hard road here. He went through the losers bracket, and that truly is a tough way to get here. But if you look at his numbers and you look at where he's hit it, particularly in the semifinals, he deserves to be here.
And we're joined in the booth right now by Bobby Wilson, a player who has competed in long drive for nearly 20 years. There you are, Bobby. You've come very close in your career to capturing the title. He has 7 top 3 finishes to his credit, earning him the nickname Mr. Consistency.
Now, Bobby, he's got to get one in the grid, obviously, to kind of get calmed down. What's it like going first?
It's a great feeling right now. I mean, Brian has just hit a rocket for a second ball, and he's set a mark now that everybody has to look at.
He qualified with a 360 to get in here, and now he's just short of 330, between 320 and 330.
324 yards.
Let's turn the clock back now a few hours and take a look at Brian's semifinal effort.
Brian Pavlik came into this competition with definitely a new attitude. He knew he had to change his ball flight. He knew he had to get it straighter. He knew he had to narrow his ball flight. And this is what he did in the semifinals. We made a great effort and he went out there at 360.
Well, whether it's the new equipment or the new attitude, Brian's getting everything into his drives. Let's see what he's got left for drive number 4. Now, his third ball was in the grid at 321 yards, but his second shot, still his best, at 324. Here's number 4 coming up.
His consistency has just improved so much from year to year. I mean, he's already got 2 balls in the grid. That's a miracle for Brian Pavlik last year. Now he's put himself in a position where he can really crank one out there and take advantage of what great speed he can create. And he's crushed this one.
That is right down the middle. He's just past 340 yards. But right now, Bobby, temperature play a part here as it gets into evening?
Yeah, the conditions, what they call the thermal conditions here, the air is getting a lot cooler. There's going to be moisture coming up through the ground. And so I tell you what, that's a pretty good mark at 345, and he's got 2 more golf balls to hit. And Brian is, you don't want to electrify Brian and give him any more confidence because he'll just speed it up and just take it deeper.
He creates just unbelievable speed that allows him to do that. There's his big mistake, though, the one he's actually avoided, the big old shrimp one to the left. That's where he doesn't take the patience that he's really acquired over the last year. And I know he spent a lot of time working with Art Sellinger just on how mentally he can get prepared to keep himself calm during these national and now world finals. And through a lot of talks with Art, who's a 2-time champion, he's really, again, changed his attitude to where he's much more patient. And now he's so much more calm that he can, again, take advantage of that great speed that he has. And when he takes his time and he gets turned back properly, he drops the club to the inside, his lower body provides the support, and then he just nails it with his hands and arms.
Final shot for Brian Pavlik.
Pressure's kind of really off him now. He's just going for distance now.
He set the pace at 343. That's not going to stay on the grid, though, and he's going to have to settle for 343 as his best shot of the evening, and he gets us started off.
Now let's go down to Tim Matthews, who's standing by with Brian Pavlik.
All right, Brian, a drive of 343, your best drive of the 6. How do you feel about that?
I didn't really catch it real solid. I kind of caught a little high on the face, and it kind of tumbled on me. It's, hey, first hitter, I got it in play. Now they got to come get me. I got a lot of guys behind me that can come get it, though.
Okay, Brian, 343 yards. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
7 more competitors to go. Lots of power, lots of speed. Hold on to your hats, folks.
The Oasis Resort here in Mesquite boasts a trio of golf courses. The Oasis Golf Club features an 18-hole layout designed by Arnold Palmer, as well as a 9-hole executive course. The Palms Golf Club, our host for the Remax World Long Drive Championship, is a 7,000-yard layout that is challenging for players of all skill levels. The 3 courses are carved from the natural desert terrain, creating spectacular views from nearly every vantage point. The Palms Golf Club has earned the reputation of being 9 holes of beauty followed by 9 holes of sheer terror because its front and back sides are so distinctively different. If golf is your game, you'll surely find what you're looking for in Mesquite, Nevada's diamond in the desert. Welcome back to the Remax World Long Drive Championship. Tonight's final is the culmination of a 2-day double elimination qualifying process. And during some of the earlier action, we saw some pretty impressive and powerful drives.
And this power today in these long drivers is really coming from the golf shaft. What these manufacturers have done is they really strengthened the bottom of these extra long shafts. And that's really created less torque down at the bottom, making for a lot straighter hit. Now, Kurt Schneider here has a 55-inch driver compared to what we have at home for your normal player of about 44 inches. The problem, consistency when the shaft gets that long.
And here's something a 44-inch driver won't do. But Kurt is able to do it with that equipment, 343 yards.
343 yards.
Let's take a look now at Rod Redska, the lefty from Canada, making this truly an international event, isn't it?
You know, long driving competitions, the interest continues to grow and grow. Now it's become global, where we have 7 countries represented in this year's World Championship.
Redska's got himself a fan club out here, and you're sure they were cheering for this one as he just kept it on the grid. It's legal, 344 yards for Rod Redska. Here's Art Sellinger, 2-time champion from 86 and 91, co-owner of Long Drivers of America. He spends a lot of time organizing this event, and he's a veteran who a lot of long drivers look up to for inspiration.
Art really had to change his swing for the competition so he could get that added distance. So his real goal was to hit a roundhouse out there, which is a ball that goes right to left with a lot more roll on it. But in this format, it's sometimes luck of the draw. In the semifinals, Art was paired with Brian Pavlik and Jason Zuback and wasn't able to advance.
Also unable to advance out of that same bracket, Chris Lowe from Hawaii. We're calling him King Kamano on a long drive.
What a great golf swing. So effortless, so smooth. Reminds you a lot of Brian Pavlik. Bunch of speed down at the ball, and he can really bomb it out there.
Chris has got a golf coach in Hawaii. He says he wishes he had got one sooner, but he acquits himself well here in his first year at the finals. Now one of the crowd favorites, Vincent Ciarlini out of LA. He saw this event behind the ropes in 95, got interested, bulked up, and by 97 he was in the finals where he finished 6th.
With this tough format that you have, you just have to make it out of your group. Gets at 330 in round 4, beats our co-host and our guest, Bobby Wilson, by ½ an inch. And that really talks about how tough it is to advance through these subgroups.
Would it be a bit of a cliche to say it's a game of inches? Probably not in this case. Here's Jerry James, former Mr. California, went from an 18 handicap to a scratch player in 2 years.
That's it, boys. That's all she wrote. Whoa!
Now, Jerry came into this competition with a much different attitude, much more aggressive. The last couple years, he almost looked asleep, you know, with a guy with a great golf swing and a potential favorite. He hasn't performed year over year. This year, he's determined to put his name on the trophy.
These are the longest drives now among the semifinalists who didn't make the finals and won't get that name on the trophy.
Brett Surratt, 353. And these distances, look at these distances. It really speaks to just how tough it is to get into the final 8.
Well, that's for sure, Mike. You can see what kind of competition these guys had to fight their way through when you look at the rest of the field.
Over 7,000 contestants from 7 different countries on 4 different continents with 300 different qualifying sites.
Yeah, it's really become an international happening. You see David Giel there from England, Thomas Henning from Germany, and a lot of these fellows competing here coming to the U.S. for the very first time, and they're seeing a beautiful part of the country. If you get your map out, you notice where Arizona, Utah, and Nevada meet. That's where we are.
You know, one of the great competitors in the field is Randy Sousa, co-owner of Long Drive. We see his drive at 319. Not his best event, but really a fellow who really has helped spearhead this world flavor of long drives with Hart Sullinger.
And speaking of the international field, let's get back to the action where we check out Adrian van Rensburg from South Africa. His first time in the U.S., plays on the Pro Tour in South Africa.
You know, he traveled 15,000 miles to get here. His brother actually plays on the South African Tour, a recent winner this year. He's using a Ping golf club. In the earlier rounds, he bombs us out there 345, 356, and 350 like nobody's business. No problem.
Now here in the final, his first 2 shots have been in the grid, but not quite far enough to pass Brian Pavlik at 343, so he's got the number to shoot for. Adrian grew up on a farm that was right nearby a golf course, so he's been at this thing since he was about 8 years old. That one's going off to the left side, but it looks like it's going to stay on the grid. Boy, is he consistent. Big ball.
He's got a great golf swing. If there's one weakness, you'd have to say that of all the competitors here, he probably goes with the weakest left-hand grip.
Yards.
And because of that, really, he finds himself having to play a little bit of catch-up because that weak left-hand position makes his club face appear, and it actually is pretty open at the top of his swing. So at times, he's got to have a lot of trust there coming down to have the ability to square it up and let his arms rotate and close it up with his body. Great setup, though. Looks really relaxed for a guy who's a first-timer, that's for sure.
338 yards on that last drive. He's had 3 of them in right now, and looks like he's headed for number 4, right down the left side.
I got it. Best jump.
He's just hitting everything solidly. Nothing out of bounds so far, and this has got to help his confidence as he continues to go on. 335 yards on that 4th drive. 2 more to go.
You know, Bobby, it was interesting watching him on the range. You know, all you fellas kind of when you're out there watch everybody and watch Zuback and the Sellingers. But I noticed a lot of you fellas stopping by to watch this young man swing.
He's remarkable. I can't believe it's his first year under the lights in the World Long Drive Championship. He's got a great demeanor about him. He's just hit 4 great long drive shots in this grid, and nothing's fazed him.
We've had a lot of guys from other countries. In fact, 4 continents are represented here this particular week. And Adrian doing them proud. He drills one down the left side again and again on the grid.
Big jump.
Boy, those are monster drives, aren't they?
There we go, right here.
That's a very monster drive as it goes over 350 yards, and that gives him the lead.
I'll tell you could just see the confidence building. Gets the first one in, little breathing room, steps it up one more notch, steps it up a little bit more, now 353.
With a swing like that and confidence instilled, knowing that he can hit this grid and hit it hard, you knew one was going to bust, one was going to jump.
And this is nothing for him. He has actually hit one 414 yards in qualifying and 390 yards into the wind.
I have no doubt about that.
Strong young man from South Africa. He's at all 5 in right now. His last shot coming up. He is our leader. And just as before, only this one's starting to fade a little bit to the right. Is it going to stay in? No, that one's going to be out of bounds. Good distance, but
out of play.
Out of play, and Adrian van Rensburg is your leader after 2 of our finalists.
352 yards, 26 inches. First time.
Cy Red's Oasis Resort Hotel and Casino offers the best of both worlds. For the outdoorsman, there's horseback riding down at the Oasis Ranch and skeet and trap shooting at the nationally acclaimed Gun Club. 7 pools welcome those in search of relaxation and some desert sun. The beautifully landscaped lake and fountains offer a serene setting for an afternoon stroll, while the ultimate in pampering can be found at the new Green Valley Spa. Welcome back to beautiful Mesquite, Nevada, 80 miles north of Las Vegas. It's Nevada's diamond in the desert. Here comes big George Slutsky, the animal. His first 3 drives went out of bounds.
George using a World Power golf club. I'll tell you what, George this year came in better shape than he has in any year. And you look at the way he breezed through the easy rounds, they were easy for him. And that's why he's here tonight.
Qualified at 349, has yet to get one inbounds. This is his 4th shot coming up.
He's going ahead and setting up to hit a draw again. Let's see if he can actually get one to turn over and get it to tumble in this grid where you're not getting much roll.
Well, he got it to go left, that's for sure, but not nearly what he wanted it to do.
I got to think he's going to go back to the cut shot here and hit a little bit of fade, because that's really what he's comfortable with. And I think, Bobby, when you get in this competition, and you got to go back to a feeling that you can call upon when you go 0 for 4 for sure.
You know, Mike, the one thing I used to tell myself was just have passive hands, because that tension creeps in there and you just start gripping that club and you lose that swing. And you've just got to say, okay, I got to relax, let all the wind out, and swing this club head as fast as I can.
I asked Big George if he was going to show me his war face out there and show why we've called him the animal, but he said he's going to be all smiles from now on. He just feels good about what he's done for himself, getting himself all fit, and he just ripped one down the right-hand side.
I'll tell you what, if that stays in, he will be all smiles.
Not bad.
Yo, is it going to stay in? No. They're calling it out of play.
That's NBA rules around here. A ball has to stay in the grid the whole time. It can't go out and then come back in. A ball's got to go 270 yards, and it's got to land somewhere in that 40-yard mark. Bobby, how small does that 40-yard target look out there?
It looks small from the tee, but I want to go with what George is feeling right now. He's like, man, I just put a mark out there that could be in the top 3 or 4 of this group, and, you know, this could level him emotionally, or it could just lift him up even higher, and he could hit a rocket.
Here we go.
There he is.
Beautiful
Yes,
shot
there we
right
go.
down the middle.
There
Look
he
at
is.
the animal go, baby!
He is pumped. Past 340, approaching 350 yards on George Slutsky's last shot of the night.
You know, for a fellow who always had that sort of mad, angry look on his face, when I talked to him on the range, he said, I'm not the animal, I'm a nice guy, I'm soft-spoken. And he said, you're going to see some emotion out of me tonight. That was kind of fun to watch him do that right there. Good for you, George.
All right, George, on your 5th ball, it just trickled out, came back in, and obviously had to be disappointed. Big drive, but it didn't count. You come right back and hit a big one, 345. Did that 5th ball bother you, or did it psych you up?
Well, it bothered me at first, but I just figured, hey, you know, you traveled this far, you got this far, you know, just make a good swing on your 6th ball.
And you did. I mean, it was an awesome swing. Hit it just like you wanted.
Yeah, I went back to the swing I used to use in 95 and 96 when I came close to winning. And I'd just like to thank my sponsor, the Oaks Golf Course in Sarasota, Florida, and Remax GTE. Thank you.
All right, George, thank you very, very much. Good job. Good effort.
And after 3 competitors, a look at our leaderboard shows George Slutsky in 2nd. Adrian Van Rensburg from South Africa leading the lead. Visitors to Mesquite quickly discover that the city is virtually surrounded by golf courses. The Casablanca Golf Course follows the Virgin River bottomlands, and water comes into play on 11 holes. This par 72 7,000-yard layout was the host of last year's championship, as well as the Pro-Am earlier this week. The Casablanca Golf Course is exquisitely blended into Mesquite's countryside, and the stunning backdrop includes views of the surrounding Virgin Mountains. Welcome back to the Remax World Long Drive Championship from Mesquite, Nevada. A little earlier, the finals of the Senior Division Championship were played out. 6 players out of the senior field of 24 advanced to the finals through double elimination qualifying. And all eyes were on the 2-time defending champion Michael Hooper, who, like Jason Zuback, was also going for 3 titles in a row.
Chuck Hendrickson, 24 years in long drive. Didn't quite have it tonight, but a great finish. He did finish 6th. Bobby Fernatter using a new golf club, a little bit longer. He finishes 5th. Richard Morgan rededicated himself to long drive. He finished 4th. Tom Page, a rookie in the crew, he finishes 3rd. 2 years in long drive for Tom Page.
And our second place finisher, Marty Joyce.
Marty Joyce, the only competitor in long drive history to both hit it left and right-handed to qualify for finals. He also uses a rubber range tee to hit off of, which is pretty unique. This year it's at 319 and finishes 2nd.
So those of us on the range who complain about those rubber tees have no excuse. Here's 49-year-old Michael Hooper from Culver City, California, the man to beat, but nobody could. This was his first drive, and it was enough.
It's at 330, which really puts him out there. But you can really see how he's changed his technique year over year. This year he's made his golf swing get a lot more upright. And this new technique has really allowed him to get more consistent and more powerful.
But not content with a 330-yarder, on his 5th shot he got more, clinching his 3rd straight title with a drive of 354 yards.
354 yards.
So a look at the final leaderboard shows us Michael Hooper on top at 354, winning for the 3rd straight time. Marty Joyce at 319, he gets $7,800, and Tom Page at 311, $6,300. But it was Hooper who cashed in on the big payday, $12,000. Also taking place earlier was the Pinnacle $1 million long drive. It was an opportunity for an amateur to test his length and accuracy. A ball rolling through the center zone of the Pinnacle grid would be worth $1 million. The lucky contestant was John Ewing from Henderson, Nevada. And before he teed it up, Tim asked Coach Art Sellinger about what John needed to do to win the million.
Art, obviously you've got to work with an amateur who's not used to hitting the ball straight and long with a lot of pressure. Have you been able to help him with that?
I think we have. We've got a lot done today. We had a good opportunity on the range to really work on some technique things. John's going to get off his right side. Club head's going to the target. $1 million is going in his pocket.
All right.
John, like a lot of amateurs at home, perfect practice swing, but when he gets ready to go, no turn, pulls it inside, chops over the top. That's exactly what he did. Pull hook to the left.
You did great, John, when you think about it. Those guys have 6 balls. They're trying to win $75,000. You get 1 ball for $1 million. You still shaking a little bit?
A little bit, yeah. Just kind of disappointed. I put a lot of time into it. So, but anyhow, with Pinnacle and heck, I got a lifetime supply of balls.
5 more finalists have yet to hit. We'll pick up the action when we return from Mesquite right after this. Welcome back to Mesquite, Nevada's fastest growing city. And the tension is growing quickly as well. Here's Jerry James on the tee. He's only been golfing, surprisingly enough, since 1990.
Jerry James came in very confident this year, and he made it look really easy as he kind of blew through the earlier rounds. And as we look at his early totals, 357, 363, and 345, it looks simple for Jerry. He's going to be a horse.
Well, when you're 6'5", sometimes things like this do look easier, but it is not easy. Here's James. Looks good. On the left side, is it going to stay in the grid? Oh, yeah, that's going to stay in. Let's see what kind of distance he's got. Good roll.
Just like in the earlier rounds where, he just stands right up there and pounds it.
344 yards.
344 yards. You heard the announcer, and Jerry looks pretty pleased with that.
Yeah, not a bad start, but that little smile, I think, is I got more to come later.
Here's some of his earlier action in the semis when he hit it nearly 345 yards on his first ball. Where does a guy like this get his power?
Well, he really gets it from how strong he is, and how much he uses his legs and his upper body. Then he creates a great angle with his hands and his wrists, and that really is how he generates that power.
An interesting angle now for his fourth drive. This is Jerry James. Second shot was out of bounds. Third in the grid at 337. Short of the mark he set with his first ball. Currently now in third place at 344.
Oh, this one's nailed here.
That's a nice roundhouse. Headed toward the middle of the grid.
Needs a little tumble. Here we go.
Well, he's got some good roll past 340 yards.
342, 342.
I don't think Jerry's hit a ball yet that he likes that he hit in the semifinals. I think he's a little nervous. I think he's got the ball coming off the club kind of going a little bit higher than what he wants, Mike. But we can tell with his swing and his technique that he's ready to unload one.
Let's see if he really is mad here, Bobby.
Boy, that's a beautiful shot right down the middle.
Optimum launch angle again. It's going to need a little bit of tumble. Here it
He's
goes.
got some great roll. Quickly approaching Adrian Van Rensburg. Van Rensburg, of course, leading at 353. That's kind of come
350.
just a little bit short. He's about 3 yards short of Van Rensburg, but that does put him
Jerry's
into
final
second
ball.
place. Final ball coming up.
There's no secret. Jerry didn't come here to finish second at all.
Last shot for Jerry James. Headed left. Too far left. He won't even watch it drop. But he is in second place. Jerry James. Adrian Van Rensburg continues to hold the top spot, but there are 4 competitors left to hit, including the 2-time defending champ Jason Zuback, lurking in the shadows. With its pink 8-story building, the Casablanca Resort and Casino is Mesquite's most distinct landmark. The hotel's spa is the ideal place to spend the day soaking in a full range of rejuvenating spa treatments. The resort's new salon is dedicated to helping customers achieve that new look. And the lagoon pool, with its cascading waterfall and water slide, adds the perfect amount of splash to finish off a peaceful afternoon in Nevada's Diamond in the Desert. Welcome back to the Remax World Long Drive Championship, offering a record-setting purse of $250,000 with $75,000 going to our world champion. And here is a former champion, Sean Pfister, on the tee. His first 3 balls out of bounds, now number 4.
Sean the Beast Pfister using a right golf club, which he switched to a couple years ago. He really breezed through the earlier rounds. In the semifinals, he knocked one out there 347. You're going to notice he has a very unique swing. He's got this little hitch in his giddy-up where he really uses his legs a lot.
Well, Sean calls it his Elvis move. He said, that's my Elvis knee, and that's what gets me, starting on the downswing.
Really needs to put one in play here. There we go.
Boy, that's a beauty.
I mean, he just goes full bore every trip.
Straight as an arrow.
Stubbed it.
Right side of the grid.
331, 331.
Just past the 330-yard mark.
That's all that one's got.
You know, Sean told me that the first time he played golf as a kid, he drove a par 4. In the semifinals here, Mike, as you mentioned, he drove it 347 yards. Let's take a look.
When we talk about Sean's power, remember, he gets it from how he triggers his lower body. That's the key to his whole golf swing. He winds up, creates that trigger, and then everything flies at the ball as hard as he can go.
Now, Sean's 5th ball was out of bounds. This is his 6th and final drive. Sean really works on his game. Hits about 1,000 balls a day. Practices 6 to 7 hours.
Oh, yeah.
That's right down the middle. Has he got the distance, though?
It certainly came off a lot lower.
No roll.
Call it.
That's
3 or 4.
That's going to fall short of the lead.
343.
343.
We mentioned earlier the record-setting purse of this first ever World Long Drive Championship, and here's how it breaks down. $75,000 to the winner, $32,017. Well, you see the breakdown there. John Lindemann coming up to the tee. His first 3 balls were out of bounds. Here he is at number 4.
John Lindemann, who's used a Yannick driver with a 6-degree loft for years now. John, if you look at his earlier numbers, you kind of see how this format really, it's a little bit luck of the draw because his numbers really didn't match up going into the finals.
John is a PGA pro who loved hockey as a kid growing up in northern Michigan.
This is 4th drive, and you can see with that hockey motion, he's really, his mistake is to really get it too flat, and he hooks it too much.
That one looks a little far off to the right. Is it going to stay in bounds? John doesn't look too pleased with it.
And that's the mistake you have when you hook it too much. You'll hold on the next one and block it out to the right.
Let's go back to the shot that got him into the finals now. This is semifinal action. And tell us, Mike, a little bit how it's like a hockey stroke.
Well, it's very flat swing, and John really has to work on his timing. And admittedly, he didn't have his timing. And when he hit this one, he really felt fortunate with the tough competition he has to hit at 350 and actually advance into the finals.
And it's just barely over 350, but good enough to get him into the finals. Down to 1 ball. His 5th ball was out of bounds. Now would probably be a good time to clear his mind, don't you think, Bobby?
And being in front of this large crowd and being under the lights, World Long Drive Championship, all that is entered into your mind. And, there can be just that split second of timing that you're off. And as we're seeing it with John, he just needs to kind of take a deep breath and give it one more go.
That's headed down the right-hand side.
It's got some potential here.
Drawing just a little bit, and it's on the grid.
Stay in.
Out of play at 340. Out of play.
Out of play. To the leaderboard now, Adrian Van Rensburg from South Africa still hanging on to the lead, but Jason Zuback, 2-time defending champ, is up when we come back. Welcome back to scenic Mesquite and the Remax World Long Drive Championship. The 1,500 people gathered here have waited for this moment. Jason Zuback, they've heard about him, they've seen his commercials, and now they're going to see him in action.
Big Jason, who switched to this Titleist driver. You know, not a recognized club in long drive, but it fits Jason's game, and that's why he likes it so much. You know, he hasn't taken a real easy road to the finals, although you see he got through the early rounds pretty easily, but not in Jason Zuback form, that's for sure.
Jason's a legend around here. Most people know his story already. The former pharmacist from Drayton Valley, Alberta, Canada. Steps up to the tee.
Pretty intense.
His first one is a bomb. Down the right side of the grid. He looks confident.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to stay in.
Inbounds.
Past 350 yards.
353, 353.
353 yards.
Jason gave the fans a scare during the semifinals. His first 5 drives all out of bounds, and he had to get it in at number 6.
Jason really has the ability under pressure to still control his ball flight. Because of how hard he swings, his angle approach, he gets very little side spin, so he can still create that power and really get it aimed right. And that's what allows him to really go after it under pressure.
And that 367-yard drive put him into the finals and gave him a chance to repeat again. His second and third drives were out of bounds in the finals. Here he is on his 4th ball.
And this one is absolutely ripped. That's the Jason Zuback we've come to know right there, folks.
Slight fade, headed to the right side of the grid.
That's what I mean. Send it back.
That's it.
And that's going to be a leader.
361,
361 yards now for Jason Zuback. And I'll tell you what, guys.
361.
He's pumped up about it. With as far as he drives the ball, are we looking at possibly the greatest long drive in history?
Yeah, it could very well be, huh, Bobby? How about how far this guy carries the ball? I mean, that ball's in there, 340 plus.
That's just amazing. I mean, he's taking it to a new level, as you said. His work ethic, his weightlifting, his stretching, his equipment. He studies the swing. He studies the techniques. I mean, the guy is head and shoulders above everyone right now, and he's going to make everybody chase him, and that's great for the game.
You know, on a grid where it didn't look like it would really match his type of ball game because he just goes at it so hard. I'll tell you what, I'm so impressed how far he can carry the golf ball. I mean, have you ever seen someone carrying it 340 plus yards? This is amazing.
And all that under incredible pressure. His 5th shot, fading a little bit to the right.
It was amazing as he walked up here and we watched him on camera, and he closed his eyes, and you could see him focus before he ever hit the first ball, and you could tell that Jason was readying himself to go to war, to go to battle. And I tell you what, he brought the battle to every competitor here tonight.
His 6th and final drive is going to be well short. It's on the grid, but short of the 361 that has given him the lead. He's now outdriven 6 men. If Greg Brooks doesn't match him, Jason wins again.
Jason Zuback has just showed us why he's one step ahead of everybody else when it comes to long drive.
All right, Jason, an amazing performance again. 361 right now. One more contestant still to go. If it stands up, you'd be the first 3-time winner. What's it feel like, and what was the pressure like knowing that all that was on you?
Well, I feel very fortunate to win it 2 times in a row just because of the strength of our field. The North American Championship, when I won in 96 and 97, the field got better and better. All hitters around North America, you have to hit it good in every round to advance more or less.
And you're doing it for Team Canada, so you're playing for a whole country. That's got to be a lot of pressure, too.
It is. Wherever you're from, the World Championship, and it's great to be from Canada, and I'm just happy to be here.
All right, Jason, thank you very much. Congratulations. Great effort again.
So our new leader, Jason Zuback, supplanting Adrian Van Rensburg on top of the leaderboard. History in the making if he can hold on to the lead. The only man who can stop him now, Greg Brooks from Virginia. His first 3 shots out of bounds. Mike, tell us about it.
Greg Brooks using a Zyder drive, and really now all the pressure's on him. He's been in long drive for 3 years. He made it through the early rounds, as you can see, fairly easily, but now he's got to really pull his whole golf swing together and really unload. He's got nothing to lose now.
setting up for number 4. This is not the time to be second-guessing yourself, is it, Bobby?
If he's up there right now second-guessing anything he's ever done, he's in trouble. He needs to take what's going on around him and use it to pump up, as Jason mentioned, the adrenaline, and use that adrenaline to get you to a level you've never gone before.
That's a nice shot, but it's headed down the left side of the grid and out of bounds.
Out of play.
So he's got 2 more shots to try and catch Jason Zuback.
Out of play.
If he can take any encouragement from that last one, he saw his normal ball flight come back, that right to lefter, and you saw it to kind of roll out of bounds at 360 plus. I mean, this guy has it in him to make it go. And again, we've talked about launch angle all night. If he can round it out coming down, that's what produces the little flatter launch angle that produces the shots we've seen tonight.
As we saw, a very interested spectator on the side, Jason Zuback himself.
Great upper body turn. You just got to match it up, and when he matches it up, he can really launch it.
Dribbler off to the left.
Not his best one there, but
one more
this
shot.
Is Greg's final ball, so let's hear it for him.
Not untypical of what some of us do at home as amateurs. You know, sometimes when we reach back a little too far, we get way out of sorts in our swing and actually top one there. You know, to his credit, he's trying to go at 160 miles an hour because he knows it's going to take that kind of club head speed to actually get one out there that far.
He's a little anxious, and there might be just a seed of doubt or indecision in his swing right now, and you know, I'm just waiting for him to just unload one right here just to put him in a position that he'll be proud of himself.
Last ball, here we go.
That one's going way off to the right, and that's it. Plug in the Northern Lights. Jason Zuback has done it again.
I'll tell you what, Art Sellinger saw Jason Zuback 3 years ago when he showed up on a long drive tee and said, this guy is going to be a world beater, and today he definitely proved that.
He did. He just came up here with an intensity that, you know, confidence and intensity, and he just showed everybody he is king of the hill, and he wants to stay up there.
So to the longest driver goes the spoils, and for the 3rd straight year, that's Jason Zuback, outdistancing the field in a history-making performance. Long Drivers of America, the owners of the Remax World Long Drive Championship, will be staging qualification events in your area. This year, there were over 300 sites where entrants tried to qualify for the finals in Mesquite. For more information on the LDA and this event, call toll-free 888-233-4654 or check us out at www.longdrivers.com. We'll be back after this special announcement from Remax.
On December 26th, the window opens, and we're going right through it.
Team Remax.
Because no one has ever done it before in a balloon.
Around the world.
At this altitude.
130,000 feet.
At temperature extremes you wouldn't believe. Follow Team Remax for every minute and every mile of this incredible adventure.
Remax.com.
The launch window opens December 26th. Follow the last great adventure.
On behalf of more than 50,000 Remax real estate professionals, I hope you're enjoying this presentation of the Remax World Long Drive Championship. I'd like to invite you to follow Team Remax as our pilots, Dave Leniger, John Wallington, and Bob Martin, embark on their historic flight to circle the globe. You can follow this exciting scientific and educational adventure on our website at www.remax.com. Like the finalists in today's championship, we are all reaching beyond our limits.
The 1998 Remax World Long Drive Championship has been presented by GTE Long Distance, a proud sponsor of the Long Drivers of America. And brought to you by Golf Week magazine. To subscribe, call 1-800-996-4653. By Mesquite, Nevada's diamond in the desert. And by TaylorMade Golf. Find your game with a bigger, longer Tie Bubble 2 metal woods and burner LCG irons. Welcome back to the Remax World Long Drive Championship, and it's time to award our winner. But first, let's introduce a few people here at the head table. Mike Reagan, Vice President of Remax International, will be here with a special presentation in a few moments. Joe Cuenco from GTE, our presenting sponsor, and Randy Souza and Art Sellinger, co-owners of Long Drivers of America, who, of course, run this whole tournament. Mike, you've got a special presentation for our winner, Jason Zuback. Mike?
Jason, who would believe it? 3 years in a row, you've been such a fantastic champion and such a great ambassador for the sport of long drive. So on behalf of the 53,000 Remax professionals in 26 countries, I'm very proud to present another World Championship trophy. Jason, congratulations.
Art and Randy, I know that trophies are nice reminders of hard work, but you've got something that actually spends over here. So why don't you present that now?
Yes, we do. Randy and I, 3 years ago, we thought we had it when we had a $100,000 event, and we did it. We have a $250,000 event. We have the first ever World Championship. We are witnessing the longest hitter on the planet, and that is Jason Zuback. And for that, Randy and I are going to present you with the largest first place check in long drive history, $75,000. Randy and I could not be prouder.
Jason, you were a true champion for the LDA, and now you're the world champion. I just can't give you enough congratulations.
And you know, Jason, it really is a world championship, having beaten out Adrian van Rensburg from South Africa and all the other people in this field. Is this starting to get old for you?
It is not. It's such a great event. The Long Drivers of America that Art and Randy own, they do such a great job. You think of coordinating a worldwide event. It's such a daunting task, and I want to thank them personally and on behalf of all the competitors because of the job that they do.
You came very close to not being in the finals at all. 5 out of bounds, and then finally hit one to qualify. What was going through your mind right then?
Yeah, it was pretty tense. I struggled through the rounds. It's something I've never done before. I've had a lot of injuries this year, and it's they're just caught up to me at the wrong time. And I really got pumped up for the finals, though. I practiced so hard all year, and I just can't let that go to waste. And I try to use all my mental imagery and everything just to summon enough courage to hit it down the middle.
Well, it's a measure of a true champion to come through when you absolutely have to, and nobody did it better in 1998 than Jason Zuback, our champion. So congratulations to him. And now on behalf of Mike Abbott and Tim Matthews, I'm Paul Ryden. Thanks for being with us at the Remax World Long Drive Championship. Good night.